All right, welcome back. So apparently, the old saying, when it rains, it pours, also applies to legal filings. So, just in most of the cases that I've been actively covering, that there's been an update today. Yay! Lucky us. So I'm going to basically here's an outline of the plans. So this video, as you probably know from the title that I haven't put up yet because I'm just recording the video, but this one is DeCastro v. Abrams. We've got another update from YouTube. Later today, I will upload a video with a even quicker update on Schofield versus Guillard, the TikTok psychic case. And then sometime this weekend, no guarantees when it'll be, but Las Vegas and the LVMPD officers have submitted a motion to dismiss in the DeCastro versus LVMPD case. So I have not looked at that yet. I have guesses on what it'll entail since it's a motion to dismiss, not an answer. But like I said, I haven't looked at it yet because I'm going to do that on video. So that's an outline for this weekend. That said, let's jump into DeCastro versus Abrams. So, as always, start with the docket. Scroll all the way to the bottom. So where are we? You may recall the last couple filings we had Google. I was going to say answer, but no. They had filed a motion to transfer to the Northern District of California, or alternatively to dismiss. They want it dismissed, but for strategy reasons, they put that second. So then we had Delete Lawz opposition, which he got out pretty fast. I mean, basically a week. That's fast. But then in 3 days, we had a response from Google. Well, not exactly a response, but rather a motion for leave to file a reply to bolster their motion to transfer or dismiss. So procedurally, what do you do? So you file a motion, and then the opposition files an opposition to the motion, a response. And then you don't always, but the moving party can file a reply to the opposition, but it's narrowed in scope. So it's just, you can't bring up new things. You've just got to bring up what was brought up in the opposition. So that's basically where we are, is Google is asking the court's permission to file such a reply. And it's going to give us a roadmap, basically, of what that reply will be. So with that, let's jump to the reply. So it's titled, Defendant Google LLC's motion for leave to file a reply in support of its motion to transfer or dismiss. Defendant Google LLC respectfully moves this court, pursuant to District of Massachusetts Local Rule 7.1 B3, for leave to file a reply in further support of its motion to transfer or dismiss. See motion, which is ECF number 121. If allowed, the reply would be no more than 5 pages and would be submitted on June 13th, 2023, or within 10 days of the court's order, whichever is later. Most of the arguments in plaintiff's opposition brief require little response, meaning that's Google saying most of Delete Lawz arguments are nonsense, and they're such nonsense that we don't even have to reply to them. That's what they're saying. Well, I should have continued. They require little response, as their defects are readily apparent. And yes, they are. But at least 2 of plaintiff's arguments are worth addressing in a short reply. First, plaintiff tries to remedy his failure to allege copyright registration before filing suit as required by 17 U.S.C. Section 411A by introducing the unpled allegation that he registered at least one key video in his complaint. Remember when I said that? Remember when I did my video covering Delete Lawz opposition motion? And he says, well, I have at least one video that has a copyright registration. And it's like, but you haven't pled it. It's not in your complaint. It's not in your amended supplemental complaint. And I froze, I think, but it's not in your complaint. Supplemental complaint, amended complaint, second supplemental complaint. You have not pled anywhere. Even in the opposition, you haven't pled it. You've alluded to it, but you've put the onus on Google to go out and find it, which is not the way things work. You have to affirmatively assert, this is what I am alleging. You can't say, well, I'm kind of alleging something, but, you know, the defendant has to figure out what I'm alleging, and, you know, the court has to figure it out too, but I win. That's not how it works. If allowed, Google will explain on reply that even if plaintiff could amend his first amended complaint, even if he could, to allege that one of his hundreds of supposedly infringed works is registered, this could not satisfy the pre-registration requirement. Exactly. As I have said multiple times, Merb has said it, Kate has said it, everyone has said it, but Delete Lawz still doesn't believe it. You have to have it, not just file for registration. The registration process must be complete before you even file your complaint. Unless he owns a time machine, he can't do that because the registration date is February 2nd of this year, after all but the second supplemental complaint. And what's more, as Google says, even if he could amend his complaint to allege that one of his hundreds of supposedly infringing works is registered, hundreds of supposedly infringing works. We've looked at the lists. All of the supposedly infringed works all contain YouTube links. So the only videos he alleges have been infringed have to have been uploaded onto YouTube, because the only way he has alluded to them in his website, even though, well, as I've said, he hasn't sufficiently pled copyright infringement, because he has to say this video infringed on my video, specifically this one, because he hasn't done that. He's just given lists. That's not sufficiently pled, but they're all YouTube links anyway. So, and that's going to matter for YouTube's second point. But continuing, Google would provide a short declaration to the effect that plaintiff is evidently referring to my wrongful arrest, being the title in the copyright registration, a video registered after plaintiff brought this action. Belated registration of one work after filing suit does not satisfy Section 411A. See Cortez Ramos versus Martin Morales, District of Puerto Rico from 2020, which is a collection of cases. So Google has found, but this is the first affirmative identification of this being the video at question in any filing. Delete Lawz has still not affirmatively alleged this. It's ridiculous. Second, plaintiff claims he did not license his videos to YouTube and asserts that the key video in this litigation was never published on YouTube. If allowed to file a response, Google will demonstrate on reply that this assertion contradicts plaintiff's own allegations. See First Amended Complaint, ECF number 62, paragraph 4 and paragraphs 13 through 19, and the supplemental complaint, ECF number 79, paragraphs 9 and 10. I'm not going to look those up, at least not right now. Further, plaintiff trains his argument on a different license than the one relied upon by Google in its motion. Compare the motion at 5, quoting the license to YouTube, with opposition motion at 4, quoting the license to other users. Remember, in his opposition motion, Delete Lawz says Google clearly doesn't understand its own terms of service. But Delete Lawz is reading different sections of the terms of service that Google clearly doesn't understand in spite of having written them. Google therefore requests an opportunity to address plaintiff's arguments. Respectfully submitted, Google LLC, by its attorneys, Benjamin Margot and Matthew D. Gorman. And hey, Google even conferred with counsel for Kate and Josh. And they both indicate that they assent to Google filing a reply brief. Counsel for Google exchanged emails with pro se plaintiff Jose de Castro regarding the motion on June 1st and June 2nd. Plaintiff opposes allowing Google to file a reply brief. Imagine that. And it was served electronically. So, yeah, basically that's our update for today. Short and sweet. It's going to be allowed there. So expect a reply brief within the next 10-ish days. So that'll be fun. And with that, I will see you later today, I hope, for the brief update on Schofield versus Guillard. And if you haven't been following Schofield versus Guillard, what's wrong with you? Go back and watch them. It's a much more interesting case than this one. So do all the YouTubey things, like, share, subscribe, and thanks for joining me. Bye bye.